We found this on the side of the road the other day. Figure we'd bring it home, see what it takes to get it running. It looks complete. We've just got it soaking in some purple power right now before we can get a little cleaner before we start ripping into it. I think we found the problem already. Carburetor's loose. That may be all it is. Anyways, we'll get it hosed off and in the shop and look into it and see what it takes to get it running. I guess we'll just start by checking the oil. If we can get it undone. Holy. There we go. That was tight. Or I'm a wimp, one of the two. About halfway between the add and the full mark, so that's good, and it looks relatively clean. So we'll call that good enough for now. Alright, let's go around over the carburetor side. Let's start by pulling off the air cleaner. Oh, yeah, she's a mess. Wow, we can get that cleaned up though. We'll soak that in some hot soapy water here in a minute. Like I said, the carburetor is loose. One bolt's gone, the other's ready to fall out. Let's check the fuel next. Wow, whoever tightened this stuff up is pretty strong. There's a little in the bottom, and it doesn't look too healthy either. Maybe we'll take that last bolt out, pull the gas tank off, and rinse it out, put some fresh fuel in too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see if I can show you what's in the gas tank. Not sure how well this is going to show up on film. Probably not that well. See a little bit of the dirt in there, but it's pretty gross. It definitely needs to be flushed out. Well, let's pull that one bolt out that's still holding the carb on, barely. That was only a couple turns in on that. And then just undo the linkage up here. Make a note that it was in a larger hole, probably the only one that fits. And then we'll just take this out and dump it and clean it up a little bit with maybe some brake clean on the carburetor. Let's see what we have. A little more dirt hidden back here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this air cleaner and give it a bath in some nice warm soapy water. I'm going to actually put the housing in there with it. Might as well get everything cleaned up. We'll let that soak for a bit. We got the air cleaner all cleaned up. It looks pretty decent. Good enough anyways. So we'll just leave that out in the sun to dry. Okay, maybe there's no sun. Oh well. Let's dump out whatever little gas is in here. Not getting it all out. Pouring a little bit of fresh. And we'll do this a couple times, try to get it as clean as we can inside. still see a little bit of dirt in the tank. Not exactly environmentally friendly, but it'll keep the grass from growing through the stones here. That looks a lot better. What we'll do is clean that carburetor up too. It's pretty dirty. We've just got some carb cleaner here. We'll spray on the outside even just to get it looking a little better. Might as well while it's apart, right? So I think I'll rinse the tank out one more time and we'll call it good enough. Go find a bolt for the missing bolt. Shouldn't be too hard. Get this back together and see where we're at. If you're just learning how to fix things, this is about the best to learn on. You know, you picked it up for free. It's already broken. And it doesn't take a whole lot of thinking or effort to get it figured out what's wrong with it, usually. Good learning tool. Carb back on. We did find another bolt, the one that's missing. Put that in too. If we can get it lined up. There we go. So imagine throwing out a lawnmower because one bolt fell out. Okay. Put some gas in it. There we go. We'll go get that air cleaner put back together. You're supposed to oil up these filters. The best way I know how to do that is take a Ziploc bag, pour a little bit of oil in it. Not a ton. That should probably do. Throw the filter in. We'll zip it up. And we'll just work that oil into that filter. Oil helps keep the dust and dirt in the filter. Just knead that through with our hands for a minute. Spin that around a little. And that's probably good enough. Put the cap on the oil jug before we knock it on the floor. All right, so let's. That goes like that. Put the filter in first. We can open it. There we go. Okay. That's quite a bit cleaner. Should we clean the spark plug before we start, see if it'll fire? Yeah, probably should. That spark plug's not new, that's pretty rusty. Something that wasn't overly tight though. Huh. Looks good though, looks really good. Not even going to clean it, just put it right back in. All right, we'll get this down on the ground, see if it fires up. Okay, give it a few primes. Doesn't seem to be doing much. Oh, the water's pouring out of it. Primes. There we go, that sounds like it's doing something now. Runs good, but does have some vibration, if you can tell on the video or not. Probably a bent blade. Maybe we'll flip it over and have a look. Well, let's try to get the blade off. It's a little sketchy. Whoa, that ain't gonna work. Oh, as I thought, this blade is bent. If you look at this one, I don't know how easy it is to pick up on the camera. This cutting surface and this cutting surface are pretty much parallel. Maybe hard to see. If I flip it over, this is pointing way down. So this end of this blade is just bent quite a bit down. That's what's throwing everything off balance. That's where all the vibration's coming from. I'm gonna go take a look in the shed, see if I have a spare one of these or not. I don't think so, but I'll check. We looked all through our pile of parts in the shed for a new blade and didn't find one, so we ordered one online. It just came today. Let's get it out of the plastic here. Bought the cheapest one I could find. Just kind of a universal fit, 22-inch. We'll get this unwrapped. So this universal blade comes with a bunch of spacers and washers to make it work. Just gonna take our old bolt, stick it in there, pick this spacer. That fits, and it's the exact same thickness as the blade. So I think that's what we'll use. And I think I'll also just replace this washer with the larger one. It can't hurt. And we'll just put it back together like that. So all this is extra. All right, let's get this new blade installed. I have to locate, we got 2 locator pins here, and they just slide into these slots. So I'll have to make sure that's lined up correctly. And make sure our spacer is in there correctly. All right, that's correct. Everything's where it should be. Get it good and tight. There, happy with that. So we'll get it back down on the ground and see if it still runs. Well, let's give it a couple of primes and a pull and see if it fires up. Well, as you can see, it runs, but we still got quite a bit of vibration. My guess is I put the blade on wrong, or worst case scenario, the crank's bent. That other blade was bent severely, but I thought that's where all the vibration was coming from. Well, let's take a look underneath. Well, the blade is on right, so that can only mean one thing. The crank is bent. And if you, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up or not, but right now it's bent to the left. And if you watch this here, it'll move over to the right. So it's bent now to the right. I don't know if you can pick that up or not. Spin it over a few times to see if you can see it. But that pretty much tells us why it was put out to the curb. There's not much we can do to fix that. Not really worth taking all apart and straightening the crank, I don't think. So I guess that's where we leave off here. We got it fixed, got it running, but underlying problem of a bent crank just puts us out of business, I guess. The next thing, you can already see some oil coming out here. With the bent crank, that seal's not going to last long. We're going to be puking oil soon. So it's not going to last much longer. So I guess this was a fail. Anyways, we did figure out why they threw it out. And we did learn a few things, so I guess it's not a total loss. Anyways, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to my channel. I've got a couple more videos on lawnmowers and a bunch of other different repairs on there too that you might find interesting. Anyways, thanks for watching.